7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to be talking about a story that happened in August at the end of last summer, and it's about the time I decided to get my nose pierced. Okay, so it was the day before I had to take the SAT, and I was sitting on the couch with my sister and my cousin. We were just talking about random shit. My sister was talking about how, I should be studying for the SAT. Little did I know, I probably shouldn't have even taken that test because I did so much better the first time. And that's the score that I ended up using anyways. So we were just talking about how, I should be studying and shit. And then my sister was feeling spontaneous. She was like, let's go get your nose pierced. And I was like, what? No, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, let's go. And I was just like, shit, we're going. And I was just like, I need parental consent. My dad was at work and my mom, she was all the way in Sudan with my little sister at the time. So me, my big sister, and my cousin, we were just like, okay, we're gonna figure it out. We go into the car and then my dad's pulling into the driveway. And we're like, Dad, we're gonna go get our nose pierced. And he was like, what, are you gonna get your nose pierced? And I was just like, yeah, we want to go get my nose pierced. And so he was like, oh, okay, just make sure that you don't get your mom mad or whatever, because he knows that my mom's against piercings, because technically piercings and tattoos, they change your body, so they're not really considered respectful or religious at all, because it's altering the way like God made you. You feel me? Okay. So my dad was just like, okay, just know that there are consequences to what you're gonna do. I agree with what you're doing, cool, you can go ahead and do it, but if your mom gets mad, it's on you. So we were like, okay, that means my dad, okay, he's for it, but he wants it all to be on us, you know what I'm saying? And my mom is all the way in Sudan. If she finds out over the phone, or if she finds out when she comes back, it's all going to be on us. So my dad really wanted to separate himself from like what we were doing, okay? And so what I did was, I was like, okay, so that means that we're going to have to like sign for ourselves, okay? So we already came up with the idea that maybe I should just use someone else's ID, as in like my sister's or my cousin, and like act like, oh, that's fucking me. Because you know what, I'm stupid. I don't look like my sister. I don't even look like my cousin. But you can tell that we're all related. That's like the sort of relationship in appearance that we have. You know what I'm saying? So we were just like, okay, we'll use someone else's card, as in I'm gonna pick my sister's or my cousin's, because I don't really look like either of them, but fuck it, they both were over 18 at the time. So we were like, maybe if these people basically just like glance at it or like scan the ID or whatever and don't actually like compare it to our faces, then we'll be good. Because I used to work as a cashier. I know that I don't really look at pictures of ID, which really fucking sucks. If you work at a cash register, wherever, like if you work at Kroger, if you work at Target, if you work at Walmart, make sure you compare the picture to the person actually buying it, because if you look at just the date, then it could be anybody's card, okay? So I was literally like, maybe they're like that. So what I did was, just in case, I am so stupid, I wore a headscarf and I took off my glasses, and then I took my older cousin's ID, and all three of us, we went to the tattoo shop, okay? So I tried to look as much like her as I could, and honestly, we're different like skin complexions, and she had a mole right here at the time, I'm pretty sure. Now she has it removed, but at the time I'm pretty sure she still had a mole. And then on top of that, like our face shape is different. Like what the fuck, we don't even look like, but you can tell that we're related. So I was like, I'm using it. I take her ID, put the headscarf on, and take off my glasses. Right now I'm not wearing my glasses, even though I wear a majority of like the time, whether I'm in class or walking to and from class. But anyways, took off my glasses, got in the car, we went over to the most fucking ratchet tattoo shop, okay? When I tell you ratchet, I'm saying fucking ratchet, like in the hood ass ratchet, like 2 miles away from a freaking prostitution house ass ratchet. But everyone's familiar with that area because of Cece's Pizza there. And if you don't know what Cece's Pizza is, it's the bomb. It's pretty good, it's pretty cheap. Bomb pizza for cheap, it's all you can eat. It's fucking lit, okay? Basically, we went there. I'm not going to say the name because if you tell anyone that's from Raleigh the name of that tattoo shop, they will tell you, do not get your shit done there. Don't get your tattoos done there. Don't get your piercings done there. Don't get shit done there. Because honestly, their craftsmanship is so freaking horrible, okay? All their tattoos are pictures of like Betty Boops with their tits out. Like, that's not craftsmanship. Like, it's not artistry. And on top of that, the lines are horrible and they're horribly shaded in, okay? But everything is so fucking cheap. Wherever else in Raleigh you want to go to get your nose pierced will cost you like $30 to get the piercing done. But here, it's like $15. My sister paid and everything. I really should pay her back for that because if you listen through the story, you'll know that I ended up taking out the piercing by like 3 months, even though you're supposed to like leave it in for around that time. And then afterwards you can start changing them, you can start switching up the diamond or whatever. But no, I fucking took it out because I ended up getting a bump. Anyways, back to the story. I go into that tattoo shop. I hand them my cousin's ID. They don't even look at it. They don't even fucking look at it. What they did was they put it in the scanner. They scanned it. They gave me the ID back. And I tell you, they really were not fucking focused. They gave me the ID back. And like I had everything memorized. I memorized my cousin's birthday just in case they asked me. Memorized the address. All that bullshit, okay? So we go into the back room. We have this like really mellow ass lady come and give me a nose piercing. You can tell that she just did not fucking want to be there, okay? Which is fine. I mean, you gotta get your money, you have to get paid somehow. But she just had a bad attitude. You could tell that she was stank as shit. But anyways, I still went and I got that nose piercing. She put a dot and she was like, how does it look? I was actually like, okay, I'm paying money for this. Like, well, not me, my sister, but we're paying money for this, so I want it to be in the right spot. So I was like, actually, can you put it more down this way? And then she was like, okay. And she drew it again, and she was like, how does that look? And I was like, it looks good. I showed my sister and my cousin, and they're like, oh, it looks good. And then she ended up piercing it where I wanted it, but I'm so fucking stupid that I didn't tell her to put it in the spot where the nose creases. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like around this area where the cartilage connects to like the face or cheek part of your face. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell her to put it in the right spot. I freaking told her to put it in the wrong spot because I thought I fucking knew. Me, the girl who's never had any piercings, any tattoos, anything. Now, being the dumb bitch that I am, I told them to pierce it right here. Okay? I'm gonna show you guys. I really don't know if you can see, but they literally fucking botched up my nose, and it might have healed by now, but honestly, I literally made the mistake of trying to tell people how to freaking do their job, okay? And so, she pierced it in the wrong spot. I leave, and I pay, and then I leave, and then, wait, no, let me tell you, before I left, they had me sign a whole bunch of papers saying, one, they taught me how to clean my nose piercing. They did not. They just sent me out on my way. They were like, okay, thank you, yada, yada, yada. Two, they had me sign a second line that says, I'm responsible for any, like, damages, or I'm responsible for any sort of like scarring or medical problems or like a whole bunch of other shit. And then they were like, then this is the thing that really stuck out to me. They had me sign a line that said, I was given a chance to read these terms and conditions. And I signed it, even though I wasn't given a chance to read it. He was like, sign here, 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 and I was basically signing under his finger, okay? Like, that's how professional they were, and that's how fucking dumb I was. I take all responsibility for this, by the way. Like, it was last year. I should have fucking known. I was like freaking 17. Like, I wasn't a baby. Why was I signing things without reading it? But anyways, I leave and I come back, and I was like, I come back into the store and I'm like, I kind of don't like the location of my piercing. I was hoping you guys could re-pierce it. And he was like, no, we can't do that because it's going to cost us. Because we're going to have to use a new needle. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. And he even brings the lady that pierced me. And she was like, oh, I even asked her if you want it in this spot. And I changed it multiple times. And she was like, so it's not my fault and bullshit like that. So I was like, whatever. We leave. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, this looks fucking botched. But obviously, I keep it in. My nose piercing got a bump by like the 3rd or 4th day. And I was walking around with a bump. So ugly. I went to school with a bump. I went shopping with a bump. No, I went to school with a bump at the end of summer. Okay, so I was in student council, and we had a student council sleepover in the school the day before freshman orientation. So like, we were like the big kids that show like the little kids about how like clubs work and what sort of clubs we have to offer. So the freshmen were here. They saw me with a fucking bump on my nose from June all the way to August. When the student council sleepover was, I was walking around with a bump, and sometimes I'd even put aspirin on top of it, but it didn't make it go down. I don't know what's the problem. So my dumbass, first of all, had a botched ass piercing. 2, I was walking around with a bump. Like, I'm so ugly for that. I'm so stupid. My teachers even came into work and saw me, and she was like, oh, you got your nose pierced? And like, I had powder on my nose from the aspirin in front of everybody. Everyone's seeing me looking dumb as fuck. And I still didn't want to take out the piercing because of the $15 that we spent. So moral of the story, kids, don't fucking pierce your nose at a ghetto shop. And second, don't pierce your nose without your mommy's permission, because she's probably going to be very mad. On to that part, I drove for like 5 hours from North Carolina to Washington Dulles Airport. Like, that's fucking far, okay? In the car, cramped as hell, chilling, trying to wait to get to the airport to see my mommy and my little sister. And my mommy, she comes off the airplane after waiting for hours, okay, in that fucking airport, and she looks at me. And instead of giving me a hug and saying, hi, how are you doing? I miss you. She gave me a handshake. I am such a bad kid. My mom is a great woman. I love her so much. I really shouldn't have gotten that piercing. Moral of the story, kids, don't do that shit. Don't make your mommy mad, because next thing you know, you're going to be coming all the way to Washington, D.C. for 5 hours to get a handshake. All right, kids. That's all.